Now we're going to look at some of the sales reports and other tools we have within the system. Let's go and print the executive view to see what sort of information we can get from our system. My sample data is multi-property, so I'm going to pick one property and look at it. I'm going to leave the time selection open, and I'm going to do detail at the room type level. Let's go take a look and see what we get here. Brings up the report, and I can see one line per room type: double deluxe, double regular, king deluxe, king regular. I'm showing my revenue figures. I'm showing how many rooms I had available for sale, how many were occupied, my occupancy rate, my average daily rate, and my revenue per available room. So these are some of the key statistics that we keep, the key metrics within the system. I've chosen to print one line per category here, per room type, and I've not done a date selection. I could just as easily have selected for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 season, 1 year, or any combination, any selection like that. And I've used the charting tool within Crystal to put some nice colored graphs on here so you can not only see the tabular results, but you can see the results graphically as well. Our system ships with a full set of reports like this. Uniresman comes with a really cool forecasting tool we call Bob, or Business on the Books. I'm going to forecast from June the 1st, which is my current date within my sample data, for 1 week out to June the 8th. So there's no crystal ball here. This is going to go to my reservations file and do a whole set of additions and display what's on the books in a clever fashion. So for each day looking out, I'm going to see how many reservations I have for individuals not guaranteed and guaranteed, for groups not guaranteed and guaranteed, my arrivals, my departure, my stayovers, my wait list, my out of order, how many are out of service. I'm going to look at my occupancy rate, number of adults and children, my room revenue, my other revenue. This is my food and beverage and event revenue. My average daily rate, my revenue per available room, and my revenue per available guest. This is a new metric that's used now. Revenue per available room uses the room revenue. RevPAG uses the combined revenue. So if you're willing to discount your room to sell some meals or other higher margin items, you may decide to look at your RevPAG instead of your RevPAR. We can see totals down at the bottom so we can see what's going on. An especially useful forecasting tool to look and see what your uptake is for certain festival weekends or other days that you have your eye on in your calendar. This is one of the tools that's used a lot by people that are setting the rates for yield management. So Business on the Books, affectionately known as Bob. Some of the other things in the sales reports that we have an agent production report and inquiry that'll show us how much business has been booked by corporates or tour groups or whatever. It'll show you the revenue they brought you, and it'll also show you the number of reservations made and the number canceled, so you can see if you've had a lot of churn through one corporate or travel agent. We also have a sales by market segment. These are a couple of things. We can look at the source of business, and we can look at a couple of the segmentation elements we use for the guest file. For instance, my sample data uses a guest geographic and a guest class. These are attributes of our guests, and they're user defined. By that I mean you can define what these are going to be, and so we can easily pull out sales to see how our sales are to these different market segments. We also have a tool here that you can use to build your own queries into our statistics file so you can get the data out of the statistics. We keep it at a very granular level. We keep it by room. We keep the revenue and whether it was occupied by room, by day, and you aggregate up from there. So we've got a tool here that allows you to build your own queries, get it into a grid in our program, one button export into Excel so you can do your manipulations over in Excel or do graphing or whatever you want. Very powerful sort of tool for getting what you want out of the system.